Hi students, in the previous lesson I had detailed and explained the customer discovery process, which is a very essential part of developing your customer value proposition. So, you start from an idea, or you actually start from a problem and then find the idea to address the problem, and from there to figure out whether this problem exists with a large number of people or with a relevant set of people. You have to go and meet customers, potential customers, and you have to learn whether this actually is true, what are the assumptions that we have made and whether they are validated or not. So, the last lesson was the steps in the process of how to go about customer discovery, and in this lesson I am going to talk to you about an idea that a bunch of us have, three of my friends and me, so a group of 4. We call ourselves SASS, SAS or SASSY, because that is the initials that the 4 of us have. It is an idea that we have come up with to do some time in our lives, not necessarily now, but at some time in our lives. So, here without any further ado, let me show you what our idea is. You know, I show this in class, students tell me, "Madam, you are sharing your idea with everybody, what if they copy the idea?" I am like, "Sure, that is perfectly all right. What I need you to know as entrepreneurs and as co-founders or founders, idea is important. It is not that an idea is not important, it is important, but more important than the idea is how do you go about executing that idea." So, just because somebody has the idea does not mean that they will deliver on that idea as well as you do, or maybe they will deliver it better than you do. So, ideas are important, but execution is even more important than an idea. So, here is our idea, the SAS idea. We call it the sarilibrary.com. That is the name of our idea, the sarilibrary.com. I will wait for a minute while you think about this. And we are actually quite happy with the name that we have come up with, because it means what it says, that just as there are libraries for books, this is a library of saris. This is not a museum of saris, this is a library of saris. And you know, book libraries, we go and we borrow books and we return them, and we borrow another book and we return that. We can't own so many books, and therefore we need a library to rent them to us. This is our idea, which is why can't we do the same thing with this with saris that we may have, somebody else may have. Yeah? So, here is the full form of the idea. I will read it and then maybe we can discuss it more. It says sarilibrary.com provides women who love to dress up. Women who love to dress up. It provides them an opportunity for never having to repeat their clothes. I am going to pull it out in parts. Sarilibrary.com is an idea, a platform, an app, a service which provides an opportunity to women who like to dress up, so that they never have to repeat their clothes. It is like perhaps true of today's world. It is truer than it was maybe 10-15 years ago. Today, if I have worn this sari and I have already posted on social media this look in this sari and this jewelry, then it is done. It has become old. I now can't repeat this for a reasonable amount of time, whatever is the reasonable amount of time. Or I will think about, "Acha, I did this in my professional circle, so maybe I can do this now in my home circle or my social circle or my book club which I go to." So, this is how actually unfortunately perhaps, or fortunately, I do not know, is how we are wired to thinking, and women perhaps think like this, and that is why the 4 of us have come up with an idea called the sarilibrary.com. And I hope the idea itself is clear to you. You may not believe in the idea, you may not buy the idea, that is not the point of this lesson. Just want you to understand the idea, so that when I go through the stages of customer discovery, you are able to relate to it. I do not necessarily think that everybody who is watching this lesson is a potential customer for me. I do not think that would be true. But I would like you to use this example to understand the different stages or phases of customer discovery. So, here was the first step that I explained to you, which is what are our assumptions, what are the hypotheses that we have and how can we validate them. And trust me, invalidating a hypothesis is equally important, because when you invalidate something, it is something that you can put aside, you can leave it away and say I am not interested in this. The problem that many of us face is we want to do A also, B also, C also. When we find out that C is not worth doing, you can leave it outside the room, you can leave it outside your house and forget about it. So, getting a no answer is very often a good thing. So, here are the hypotheses that we came up with for our idea called the sariLibrary.com. Our first hypothesis is a hypothesis around our customer segment. So, our hypothesis says this is our assumption. It is our going in assumption. Many of you have studied mathematics, and so we have done null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. This is our going in assumption that the key target customer segment, that the target customer segment most relevant to us, most important to us will be women in the 35 years plus age group and not the 20 to 35-year-old age group. And I can explain to you why we think this way. Firstly, I think that younger women are wearing less saris than older women are wearing. I think younger women are wearing, at least to work, they seem to be wearing more western clothes. That is what the world is moving to, and that is one of the reasons we believe. And why is this hypothesis testing important? So that we do not go chase the wrong customers. I would rather know that the best people to chase to buy into our solution or service is the 35 to 50 age group and not the 20 to 35 age group, then we will not spend our effort, we will not spend our money, we will not spend our resources chasing the wrong age group. Not wrong as in they are wrong for this idea, that is all that it means, that they are not the key customer segment for this idea called sariLibrary.com. So, this is one hypothesis which is around the customer segment. A second hypothesis that we have is around the word usage. If you can see the last word in that sentence, it says usage. The occasions that our audience or our customers will want to borrow sari for will be family functions like weddings and engagements and Grah Pravesh, etc., and not for everyday events like shopping, picking up my child from school or going to a kitty party. Yeah. So, this is our assumption that the kind of occasions that women would like to borrow or lend saris for or borrow saris for would be around big functions, shadi hoti hai, there is a engagement ceremony, there is a big birthday party, a 50th birthday party or a housewarming, Grah Pravesh, and not everyday events. That is our assumption. The third assumption that we came up with was that many of our women in our target segment, many women in our target segment, they already belong to communities. So, there is a physical community which could be a kitty party, which is my own residential complex, people that I walk with every day in the morning, people that I go after I come back from work and I hang out and chat with for maybe 15-20 minutes, half an hour. So, there are physical communities existing already, and today there are so many digital communities. Think of how many social media groups you are part of, and they are not just on one platform, they are across platforms. So, all of us have digital communities, and these digital communities are not only for time pass, and time pass is a good thing. We all need to keep ourselves comfortable and emotionally light and so on. So, these communities exist for sharing something. Some of us are sharing recipes with each other, some of us are sharing, many of you will be sharing your notes with each other, many of you will be telling a group saying, I am going to read well chapter 1, 2, 3 and you do chapter 4, 5, 6 and then we will group together and have combined learnings and so on. So, the reality of today's world is that we have digital communities, we also have physical communities. what the hypothesis or the assumption that we have, and we think this is right, is that these communities haven't been leveraged for sharing clothes. These are communities where we share digital things. We all forward good morning to everyone that we know of in our groups, or some viral video of a cat, or many things like that. But these communities have not been leveraged for our idea, which is sharing saris. Another hypothesis, we think that the women in these communities will borrow, but they will not pay too much money for it. They will pay for the dry cleaning, they will pay for receiving, they will pay for sending it back, but they are not going to pay too much rental. And between the four of us, we do not agree on this. Some of us think people will pay, some of us believe that it is okay if they just pay for delivery and dry cleaning and so on. So, that is our fourth hypothesis, which is around price and the value. So, what is the price a customer will pay for the value that she is getting? The product range they will want are more likely to be bhari saris. The word bhari is of course an Indian Hindi word. Bhari means occasion saris, which have embroidery, which have zari, which have gold work, silver work, which are used for big functions and not designer saris. So, designer saris are a different kind of saris, which are perhaps expensive, but they are not used for the kind of occasions that we are talking about. And this assumption is about the kind of product portfolio that we need to have. The sixth one is actually perhaps my favorite hypothesis, which is that, and I will read it first and then we will talk about it. In the same customer segment, we are likely to find lenders and borrowers. So, and I have called this a business model hypothesis, because the belief is that we all have saris, we probably have 30, 40, 50 saris, each of us have, and we are happy if they get used as long as somebody does not spoil my sari. That is the only thing that we are worried about or bothered about or concerned about. We are otherwise okay with lending saris. Why is it a business model hypothesis? It is a business model hypothesis because this means that the four of us, SAS, do not have to invest in buying all the saris. So, when typically somebody sets up a library, they have to buy the 2000 books or the 1000 books that go into the library. In our business idea, maybe we do not need to buy all the saris. Maybe the same people will be lenders and the same people will be borrowers. So, these are the assumptions or the hypotheses that we are going to test with potential customer segments. And what are the metrics for validation? I have already said them to you and I will just show them to you on a slide now. If 70% say yes, it is a go ahead, it is a tick. If less than 50% say yes, then drop it, immediately drop it. And for me the third, which is between 50 and 70, there is some merit in that assumption. How can we tweak that assumption? How can we build a little bit of understanding into that assumption so that it goes to become the 70%. So, this is the metrics for validation. Here is an attempt at a questionnaire or a script. Actually, it is more a script than a questionnaire because it is a flow. It is how do you have a conversation. I actually do not envisage that this conversation will be difficult at all. Just think about it. There is two jolly aunties. I am going to call me and my friend a jolly auntie. We are must happy people. We have an idea and we are perked up about it and we are going to meet not our own friends but friends of a friend. तो एक तो वो जरूर मुझको हम लोग दोनों को घर पे बुलाएगी, ये call us home. She will serve us chai, she will give us biscuits, she will give us some snack, because it is a social, she knows us through somebody, we know her through somebody, and we have started this conversation by saying, hey, you know, the two of us are here because we want to discuss something that we would like to do, but before we tell you what is our idea, we would like to understand a few things from you. And she is like, sure, let us have a great chat, बैठिए. This is how I envisage that our conversation is going to happen. When you go to your customers, you may start with an introduction, and very often students find it easy to start with an introduction that says, we are from ABC college and we are doing research in the area of whatever, you are doing research in the area of senior citizen living, you are doing research in the area of a new drug for cancer, you are doing work in the area of how to electric batteries, whatever. The moment you say we are from ABC College and that we are here to do research, you will find that your potential customers will welcome you. If if in the same context you go and start the interview and you say, we are A and B and we are here to talk to you about a product that we are building and would like to sell, the reception will be slightly different, I would envisage. So, here is our script. So, the first question says, can you tell me your age or age band? We are very happy with the age band. We do not want to know whether you are 36 or 38, it is not important to us. We are more interested in knowing what life stage that they are in. And we also have a question which is a follow-up question which says, in your mind, what age band do you think that you belong to? I mean, of course, we are always sweet 16 and will never grow old, but we will get some idea from, I am in my 40s, but I behave more like the 30s these days. Today 40 is the new 30 is a statement that many of us say to each other. We ask them for their education details, not very interested in whether it is a BA or a BCom or a BEng. We want to know whether they have done graduation or post graduation and so on. More importantly, we ask them what are the key roles that you play, and I do not think this key roles that they play is going to influence our idea as much. But when you ask this question, they warm up. They say, oh, all of us women are playing multiple roles all the time. I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a friend, I am a daughter-in-law, I am a sister-in-law, and I have to effortlessly manage this through every day. And the reality is men are also have so many roles, they just do not call it out like that, because they say I go to work, maybe I meet a friend sometimes, but we have a larger community and circle of friends that we are with. The reason I put out the last two on this slide, which is called residential area and the kind of home, is to explain that everything you do not need to ask a question for. Some things you can observe. I can see that in her home she has very nice wall hangings, she has some that embroidery looks like it is from Orissa, I do not know, but she looks like she has got a good taste and that she is a collector. I jot that down. I do not have to ask her, are you a collector? Many things can be observed, the kind of home, what kind of locality that home is in. So, this is the first and simplest part, which is to establish what are the demographics, income level, age level, education level, and some amount of psychographics, which is she fashion conscious, is she very interested in culture and the arts and so on. We can do some of that with observation. This is where we start going into building into our idea or our thought. It is not even. So, the first question here says, let us talk about indulgences. What kind of things that you pamper your family with? We are less interested in her family, but she will find it easier to talk about her family, and then we will kind of quickly circle back and say, hey, let us talk about, are there things you pamper yourself with? And she will say, thoda guilt feel hota hai, but we do this, I go to the spa, I go with my friends and have chat, and I go for a movie, and I go for a movie with my girlfriends, but not with the family. Sometimes it is better to be not with family. I mean, I am imagining all this, we are not saying that everybody that we are going to talk to is not interested in their family, we all are, but there are times that we want our time, which is me time, or my friends, or my time with my girlfriends. Then we go on to ask about communities, what kind of communities do you belong to, what draws you to communities, do you participate in them, are you just a passive listener or you a contributor, what is the difference? Sometimes it is difficult for people to talk about their own selves, but when I say what kind of people write on a group and what kind of people are only reading, and then you will find that she will tell you the people who are writing are the aggressive people, they want to make their point of view known, etc. I'm just making a point so that you understand that people are able to draw these pictures. ये ना पेन पिक्चर कहते हैं, हाँ, हम किसी को डिस्क्राइब करना चाहते हैं, हम अपने आप को डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर पाते, पर हम किसी और को डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हैं. So it's find it easy to describe other people, and that's called a pen picture. So then I have asked my last question on this slide, which says, I heard some of the women I spoke to have groups called dressing up. There is a Facebook community that I know of called Sari Speak or something like that, and there are communities around beauty trips. Are you part of any of them? And then the third, she will talk about the communities that she is a part of. We can ask her in what manner does she contribute to this community, and what does she gain from this community. Okay. So, I have now moved to the next section. So, in a script, it is good to have sections, and it is good to have 3, 4, 5 questions under each section head. These are too many, but you can have less. This was just, it's easy, when women think about dressing up, अपने आप से questions आ जाती है, अपने आप से answers भी आ जाते हैं. So, it is possible to, so here we have said, let's talk about dressing up. आपको अच्छा लगता है क्या? और बताइए क्यों अच्छा लगता है? I've asked this question when I used to work in a cosmetics brand, and I would ask them, why do you like to wear makeup? And they said, because we want to look good. And then I asked the question, but why do you want to look good? And women around the table would look at me perplexed. What kind of a question is this? I mean, we all like to look good. We all want to look good. What kind of a question is this kind of thing? So, what do you define as big or small functions? What is your dressing up pattern? What kind of saris do you wear? What kind of clothes? What kind of shoes? What kind of jewelry? Do you do your hair differently? Are there makeup looks for different kinds of occasions, etc., etc. Yeah? And then we ask them about small functions, we ask them about everyday events, and then we have asked them what are the challenges you face. We are hoping that somewhere here she will tell us that the biggest challenge I face today is I am repeating my saris. यार आजकल तो everyone is having a Grah Pravesh and calling us. We are getting invited to promotion parties, we are getting invited to all kinds of events, and I don't have enough clothes for them. Yeah? So, we are hoping that somewhere here we will get a little way to get into the exact problem that we want to solve for. We can't directly ask the question, we should not directly ask the question, but if you go and ask the surround sound, you will find that you will get to the question yourself. Yeah? So, there was one more page after, and I did not bother putting it into this deck, because what I wanted you to experience was what does a script look like, what does a discussion sound like. I promise you that discussion with that potential sarilibrary.com customer is going to be couple of hours. It is not going to be less than that. There will be chai that will be drunk, there will be biscuits that will be eaten, and there will be some bhujia save or whatever, and I am reasonably sure, without having done even one interview, that she will invite us to come into her room and see the saris that she has and say, these are my bhari saris, but इन्हें मैंने ये अब भी पहना था, मेरे भाभी के somebody की शादी थी, somebody in my family got married and I wore this sari. So now this I can't use for a little while, and so on. So that's how I envisage our customer discovery to be, and I don't know if you are able to hear it in my voice, but it is a very engaging process. It is a very learning process. It is there is as much learning as there is curiosity. So, I want to know everything about this lady we are meeting, and she is very happy sharing things with us, because she feels comfortable, we feel comfortable, and there is a little bit of bonding because we have a friend in common. So, what is the output after customer discovery? The output after customer discovery is simply the customer value proposition. I showed you our idea for the sarilibrary.com when I started, and the output after customer discovery could look something like this. So, I will show it to you. It is a little more detailed version. Psychographics.com is a platform connecting dressing up loving metro women. So, it connects metro women who love dressing up. Sari Library is a platform which connects metro women, women who live in metros and who love dressing up, so that they can share their cherished curated saris. Cherished matlab I value it, you know. Our best saris are those which we lovingly keep inside tissue paper. Some of us, our best saris are kept in muslin kapda or the dupatta, old dupatte ka kapda. That is how we treat something that is very cherished. And curated. The word curated means lovingly put together. So, I have bought one from Bengal, one from Tamil Nadu, one from Maharashtra, the pattern is from Maharashtra, and so on and so forth. So, we are talking about sharing our cherished curated saris, providing the other community members the confidence of standing out at family functions and the social media advantage of never having to repeat their clothes. So, at the end of, I know this will get richer when I actually do the customer discovery. So far I have only done up to stage 4, which is that I have written the hypothesis, we have listed out the customers, we have listed sample size and metrics, and we have listed the hypothesis. We have written a script, but we have not actually gone and done the interviews, scheduled or done the interviews, maybe sometime soon. But our output after customer discovery will be a customer value proposition, and I am reading this just to bring it alive to all of you again. The sarilibrary.com is a platform which connects metro women, women who live in metros and who love dressing up. We provide them with this platform to share their cherished curated saris and provide community members the confidence of standing out at a family function. Also the social media advantage of never having to repeat their clothes. Unless you do customer discovery, you will not get this kind of richness, this kind of nuance to the thoughts that you went in with. So, this was sarilibrary.com was just an example for me to use to bring alive the customer discovery process and to show you the starting point of it and the ending point of it, which is you start with an idea and you end with the output, which is get sharper about the customer, you get sharper about the problem or the need, and you get sharper about the solution that you can offer. So, this dear students is what customer discovery looks and feels like. It is a very interesting thing, and it can only be done by getting out of your homes and out of your hostel rooms and out of your office rooms, and it can be done in other people's homes, it can be done in cafes, it can be done at somebody else's office, depending on whether you are talking to a B2B customer or you are talking to a B2C customer. It can be done at various places. The one place it cannot be done is in your own office or in your own home or in your own hostel room. So, let us get out of our buildings and go and do customer discovery. Thank you.